Hello, welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I am Michael Mandel, and I know we haven't done any drinks for about 4 months. You probably didn't realize that.
Why not, Michael?
Well, because July 11th, I think, I had some fish in Mexico,
yes,
in Juarez, called the escalar, which I got food poisoning from. That precipitated a weird prostate problem, which was kind of resolved about a month or two ago, and I was on an antibiotic, and I was not supposed to drink alcohol, and about 2 weeks ago I was kind of cleared, so I've been going at it little by little, but I'm still interested in drinks. As you know, the big thing I talk about is Negronis. This is a variation on a Negroni. I pre-made it. It's with gin. In this case, Brooklyn gin. It's called Brooklyn gin. Mm-hmm. I think the couriers gave us that bottle.
Brooklyn gin, not to be confused with Bombay gin.
Yeah, it's not. Even though there's a lot of Indians probably living in Brooklyn.
And it's not London dry gin, or is it?
It's London dry style.
Okay.
So I did that. So this is specifically from the Cocktail Chronicles book, although a variation of it was on the drink thing with Connie Voisy, or Charlotte Voisy, who did one similar. So this is 1/3 gin, 1/3 Aperol. You've had Aperol before. Yes. It's sort of a mild bitter. And one of everybody's favorites, which is prevalent in dry martinis.
Vermouth.
Dry vermouth. So it's 1/3 of each, and it's colorful.
Michael,
it's still cold. It's pretty good.
I wish you had told me that you were, imbibing again, because I've been keeping up your end of it.
You've been drinking?
I've been drinking for you and me. Thanks a lot
my
for
God.
telling me.
So what kind of drinks were you
could have
making?
stopped a long
what kind
time
of
ago.
exciting drinks have you
My
been?
word.
I haven't been drinking that much. This will be almost the most I've had.
So I assumed you were, so I was keeping up your end.
Cocktails. So
what makes it red? The Aperol?
Contessa, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like Aperol sweet. Taste Aperol. The Aperol balances out the dry vermouth.
You can taste the dry vermouth. Sometimes when you go to a bar, which for some reason has no Campari.
No, not in this town.
Not
they
in this
don't.
town. So
Aperol.
You have to make up. Aperol is even less popular. You have to make up your own Negroni. What I usually do is everybody's got dry vermouth, and almost everybody's got Cointreau, and you can mix those with gin, and you get. You've
got the Cointreau because they can make margaritas with that.
Yeah. Good margaritas.
Yes.
Not the bad ones.
Now, if you watch this show for any length of time, you know that food and drink is one of our favorite topics.
Let me hear your analysis of this before you get into your complaint about your food.
This is good. I like the bitter and the sweet. The balance
works nicely,
of that, too.
yes. And
it makes it just right.
And the gin is a good structure. Anyway.
And of course, you got to have the gin at the base of it.
Well, otherwise it's an Americano.
Yes.
So, for us Americans.
So I recommend
your complaints.
Well,
he bought that.
Before we talk about Veterans Day,
yes,
which is coming up today, I went to Natural Grocers and I saw this frozen selection. It's Michelangelos vegetable lasagna.
I had nothing to do with it.
Now, I actually got this for my housemate, who likes to have a frozen selection for when I'm not there to cook dinner. So I got this. It looked good. It's organic. Everything about it looked good. I read the ingredients. I'd eat that. So we took it home. Alice warmed it up as...
Is that your housemate?
Per instructions, yes.
And,
we peeled off the foil, the film, then you heat it in the microwave oven.
Yeah.
She took it out, started eating it. She found a big long hair. Not her hair, because it was down within the cheese and the product.
So is that Michelangelo's
So the hair could not have been introduced to it at home.
Yes, because it's a frozen dinner with the top on it.
And it was way down in there. So I contacted the good folks at Michelangelo Frozen Dinners, and they actually had a very quick response to me.
I think that's probably happens occasionally with food.
I was kind of impressed with that.
If people aren't wearing their snoods.
They wanted to know what the product code was, the day I bought it, where I bought it, several other things about it.
And the DNA of the hair?
And
so they could fire the person who didn't wear a snood?
I actually thought about asking them if they wanted that kind of as a joke. But I really wouldn't want to get somebody fired over their hair, not wearing a hairnet or something. So I sent them back. I gave them the information they requested, and in like 3 days in the mail, I received an envelope that had coupons for 3 free dinners.
Good for you.
So I can't complain about Michelangelo's.
Speaking of natural grocers and natural foods, I got a while ago a quart of half and half, and it smelled a little funny, and then it was clumpy on the bottom, and then I got the clumps out, and they were sort of brown curds.
Did you look at the date?
Yeah, it was fine, and I liked the company, and I sent them a thing, and they sent me coupons, and actually I think to buy $5 for them was like 1 quart of the stuff. But I wanted to send them the curds so they could analyze if they were horribly poisonous or not.
Probably. Well,
No.
it's just like cottage cheese.
Yeah, probably. I think they were a little brown at this point.
But anyway, so like
let's
I said,
drink to,
we're into food
Let's
and
drink
drink.
to natural food companies standing by their products, even though mistakes happen.
Yeah, Michelangelo's they have a line of several Italian products.
I would think so. Michelangelo is made for that. So let's get on to, this is an exciting weekend, and last weekend was exciting, the Renaissance Fair. Did we talk about that?
We did talk about it in length. We talked about the Renaissance Fair.
We
Michael.
did. It came off pretty good.
And you and I spent a lot of time there.
The weather was great. Yes, thank you for helping me out,
had a
as
good
well
time.
as Alice.
And
You
so,
helped me more.
more than Alice.
Yes.
Alice
helped
we knew that
when
going in.
Yes, when I ran to the bathroom, I think.
But today, this weekend, we have Veterans Day upon us.
Yes.
That comes around every year as well. It's Veterans Day,
Many things for veterans.
where we pay tribute to our veterans.
Yeah, tribute to our veterans.
Well, I'll drink to them.
Cheers. Drink to anything.
And so that's today, officially. I mean,
Yesterday, they had a day off. Banks were closed.
everything's closed
The
on
mail
Friday.
was delivered yesterday.
That's true.
So, and
didn't
many
expect
veterans, many people who work for the post office are veterans, which is ironic.
You think the mail will be delivered today?
Saturday, sure. Oh, wait, that's a good question. It's officially, we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see when we get home today.
Now, a lot of national restaurant chains are offering great deals to veterans. Places like Golden Corral, free dinner. Other places, free entrees.
Do you have your card?
Other place, my veterans card.
Yeah, do you have your veterans card?
No, a veterinarian, but not a veteran.
No. You used to be an Aryan?
A veterinarian, and check your local
Texas Roadhouse. You said Texas. Oh, that's on
That's
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, they probably do something.
They may have something.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of national chain restaurants, like Dunkin' Donuts even, that are giving great deals to veterans. If they go in, you might get free donuts, you might get 10% off, you might get a free dessert.
Somebody advertised yesterday about I think it's Hacienda 10% off.
Hacienda
I think so.
in
For
Mesilla?
veterans. I think so.
Okay.
We could have been Morisco's.
And that's not a
I'm not
natural
sure. It
chain.
could have been Morisco's.
Yeah. So there's deals out there for veterans, and I encourage you all to take advantage of it.
All of you veterans. And when you veterans go eat there, call us up. We want to find out how many of you watched the show.
Took advantage of it. Yeah.
Yes.
And if 1% calls
Call us at the name Veterans Day. Change the letters into numbers, and that's our phone number.
So
Sort of.
now the election.
What else?
We had an election last week, or this
Oh, did
week
we?
actually. Tuesday was the final day to vote for the city.
Did you vote?
Of course. I
On
did.
Tuesday?
And everybody
Me
I voted
too.
for won.
Yes, everybody I voted for won too.
one
And
person?
I had one person to vote for.
Well, I voted for 2 people.
Yeah, so people are complaining about nobody showing up. Most people had no interest in whether Joy Goldbaum won or not.
Why
Or
not?
Anybody, because
Because
they
they didn't
figured
know
they're
him.
never going to go into the magistrate court or whatever court she was in, municipal, and it's not going to matter.
Municipal court. Well, the thing is, only 11% of registered voters voted this time, and that's
actually up from last time.
how we got Trump.
Well, maybe. Well, that's because nobody cared. Everybody didn't know who to vote for. They didn't want to vote for. Anyhow, I don't want to get into it.
Well, last
now.
November-
We'll get into it next election.
Last November, the state turnout was 62%.
That's pretty good. 62 versus 11.
I know,
That just
but that's
means-
statewide. But here in Doña Ana County, only 11% voted.
Are you talking about 11% here this year versus
Yes.
last year?
11% for this city election voted.
Yes.
Last year, the presidential election and everything else that went with that election, 62% voted.
Here or statewide.
Statewide.
So you have two different statistics from two different events, so you can't really correlate.
No, there's no correlation.
There's no collusion?
Or
Did
correlation.
you collude?
Well, no. Well, that's to be. Mueller will have
We're
to
still looking
decide
at
that.
that. Flynn is up against it yesterday.
But I wanted to mention the people who did win in the election, and Mr. Vasquez one in District 3.
Taking over for Olga Pedrosa.
District.
And if he was in my district, I would have voted for him.
You would have. And then, of course, Gil Sorg was re-elected
Yes.
for his final term in District
Whatever.
5
Maybe.
or 6.
Gil Sorg's good. He's been good.
Yes, and then Miss Goldbaum won as...
Wait, what about Yvonne
Oh, yeah.
Flores?
Yeah, Flores won against Cecile Levitino.
Levantino had a one term there. She was considered the conservative leg of it.
And I would have considered her the front runner. I'm really surprised she didn't win.
Why? I mean, she's a nice person. I like Seal.
The incumbent always has the advantage.
Right, but in this case, I think the progressives were maybe taking it out on Trump, and
You see
countrywide, I think we've seen that a lot
It's
of
happening now.
a lot of races were taken over by
It is
the
happening.
Democrats.
And then, of course, for
it out,
judge,
Democrats.
Miss Goldbaum won as municipal judge
Yes,
against the
who we've known
incumbent.
you've known her.
I
as
don't
long as
know her.
I've known her since.
But
she
I did
moved
vote
here.
for her.
Good.
But Ken Yalka, the incumbent, didn't stand a chance.
Ken Yolkett has a reputation,
That's true. He does.
and the third person nobody knew. So there you go.
And,
Okay, now that's exciting, and
so
it's good.
speaking of government jobs, we have a new county manager who has been appointed, Judge Fernando Macias, who is a district court judge
And has been working for us for ages.
several years. He used to be the county judge years ago, or the county manager.
Yeah.
He's now
Did
been
you just show Did he just morph to older, from younger to older?
he's now been reappointed as county manager,
He's kind of a nice guy.
replacing Julia
He
Brown.
might be okay to. He might stick it out for a
Oh,
while.
he's a good guy.
Although you're not allowed to stick it out anymore,
Never stopped you.
But it wasn't
Yeah,
that.
so anyway, Fernando Macias, I think he takes over after the first of the year over the county. And we also have a new chief of police, replacing
What's his
Jaime
name?
Montoya. That's Patrick Gallagher. He's currently the chief of police in Santa Fe.
Oddly enough, he moved here from Santa Fe. You know, Santa Fe, you would think more action, probably gets paid more because you need more to live there. But maybe that's also, I didn't see what his motivation is.
I think there's more
to move
action
here.
down here. We're near the border,
You don't want that much action.
and
Well, there's a lot more
It's
bar-
cheaper to live here.
That's one good thing.
Why wouldn't you want to live
And
here?
it's warmer. Maybe he hates winter. It looks like he certainly didn't get a tan up there.
You tend not to in Santa Fe, I guess.
You could. You'd have to stay out all summer to do that.
Yeah, we
Well,
also,
let's welcome him
Yes.
to our city. Hopefully he likes it
and if you go to the city council meetings, you'll see him sitting over there on the side.
with his gun.
They're always sitting there. You see the police chief; he's getting his work done while he sits over there on his laptop,
Because they don't care what happens.
and they have to be there.
There's a boy and his dog.
And that is the new
Clint.
director of the animal shelter,
Thacker.
Clint Thacker.
What did he used to do? He did it for
He worked elsewhere,
El Paso, I think.
and so he's going to be our new animal
He's pledging
shelter director.
no kill by 2019. 2019. You know,
It's a worthy goal. I doubt he can
you're
attain
not
that.
going to do that by getting people to adopt, because people adopt as much as they can. You do that by encouraging spaying and
Spay,
neutering your
they-
animals.
How much more can they do that?
You can only spay or neuter your animal once.
That's true, but they've had a huge spay neuter program where we
tried to-
promote it on this show all the time.
So I think what they're going to have to do is encourage dogs to have condoms.
Really?
Yes, dog condoms.
Condoms.
Yes, before you do,
Condoms.
you bring with you a little bag after they go potty, and you scoop up after them. These are just different bags.
I see.
Anytime they look like they're randy, put one on.
So when they start humping your leg, should they already have the condom on?
Depends if you have a female leg or a male leg.
It doesn't matter.
Yes,
Listen,
it does, because males can't get pregnant.
Well, this show's obviously gone to the dogs.
Okay.
Let's take a break,
Oh, and go further to the dogs?
and we'll
We'll
finish up
come
these
back and
cocktails.
talk about peanut butter, because what could be more
We
interesting?
will. Ever see a dog eat peanut butter?
Yes, that's it.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business. According to the secret war, banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get the secret war free. Call the number on your screen or visit online.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. Call the number on your screen right now to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
And we are back with Double Talk.
And we've been snacking on these sweet Maui onion Hawaiian kettle-style potato chips that Rosa Rodriguez gave us a couple of months ago.
You can't get them here in stores, can you?
She can. I don't know
Really?
where she gets them. They're pretty good.
They are pretty good. Now, listen, we were talking about the election results a minute ago.
But you forgot to say something.
Well-
so I'm just going to blame you.
The state has ruled that state employees may now vote.
Take an hour.
Take paid time off
You
to
take
vote.
an hour. I mean, in this last election, I walked into the booth, which was at the Good Samaritan.
There was nobody there.
There were like 4 or 5 workers there.
Workers.
And I just walked right up to actually Denise, who is working next to us at the Renaissance Fair. And she's there. I see her for 3 days for the Renaissance Fair. And then
There she is. I voted over the county building on Motel Boulevard. I walked in. I was the only one there.
Gosh, that's amazing because that's where most people go. I've been in lines
They had
in the county building.
It was a very small room this time. They didn't have the room opened up. Very small room. I walked in, voted, and
so there's a benefit to these small elections.
Well, there is because nobody else
shoot right through.
Nobody votes, and state employees, people who work for the state of New Mexico, may now get paid time off to go vote. I thought we had that all along, but apparently we didn't.
Because it doesn't affect us.
And are state employees considered?
So how long do you get
state
to vote?
Universities?
Like considering you didn't have to wait in line.
An hour?
I mean,
What if there is a
big
lunch?
deal.
Well,
It's
that's
called
this election.
lunchtime.
Yes, but what? No, you get a paid lunch.
That's true.
You have lunch. What if it's a main election and like a presidential election,
And you're
you
backed
have to
up?
wait in line?
I once had to take off a day for voting because I voted upstate and I was living in New York
Yeah.
City. Took a day to get there and get back. And then I was fired when I came back.
Because you voted.
No, because I
Took a day off.
Because I voted for who I voted.
Oh, they told you who not to vote for?
No, I knew what side he was on.
I
I knew
see.
what side I was on, so I made it a point to go vote for him.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, actually, people have the option to vote early. And if they take the early option, it won't take them but an hour to drive across town even and back. And with all the voting stations around Las Cruces, it takes them 15 minutes to go vote and come back.
You know, they're trying as much as possible to make it easy to vote because some states are making it really hard to vote with IDs and all sorts of things. So having access to it is pretty good. We better keep moving because while you're voting,
Yes.
NMSU made some, they didn't make some dough, they made some peanut butter giving out fines.
They had a crazy plan where if you had a parking ticket at NMSU, and it's not hard to do that, to get a parking ticket.
Yeah, it's hard to get a parking ticket.
They would allow
It's hard to
you
park.
to pay off the fine in peanut butter instead of money. So if you gave them at least 80 ounces of peanut butter, that would take care of your fine.
And they gave all the peanut butter to the food bank. And how many pounds do they end up giving? 450?
425 pounds of peanut butter were brought in to help the Aggie cupboard at
That's
the university. And that goes to help feed poor, disadvantaged people who could use some peanut butter.
I like peanut butter.
Peanut butter's not the cheapest thing in the grocery store, you know.
No, but it's...
Especially organic peanut butter.
Nobody's saying anything about organic peanut butter.
I am, because that's the only kind I eat.
Well, that's good for you. Look how healthy you are. What?
Huh?
What?
Never mind.
The fact that you could raise your arms that far?
Without losing,
without
getting
losing
winded?
your bait? Yeah. Are you winded?
I'm not winded.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Use your inhaler.
No, I'm fine.
All right.
I really am.
Peanut butter. Oh, DOT meeting. What is that about?
Well, if you've driven anywhere around Las Cruces, anywhere on the north side, down Solano or North Main Street, and you've come to the intersection of Main Street, Solano, and Three Crosses, you've seen that it is a construction mess nightmare.
Can't say any bad words, can we?
And since that's the nearest major intersection to where I live, it affects me on a daily basis.
As well as pretty much the closest to where the studio is.
The grocery store I go to, Albertsons there, one day I could not get in nor out of the parking lot, so I just avoided it completely.
If you couldn't get in, you didn't have to get out.
I had to drive all the way down.
If you didn't get in, you didn't have to get out, right?
I saw that was going to be the issue, so I drove all the way to the Albertsons on El Paseo.
You know, the Albertsons around town all have different types of product lines.
Each
Did you notice that?
They're different, yes. Different.
You know, the one over by Target has the she stuff.
They do. They have a much better...
They probably have Aperol there.
Prepared Foods bar is the best one there.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. And they have interesting cheeses. Anyway, enough of that.
So anyway,
what are you going to do about this?
If you're interested in that construction project, which is going to go on for another year, there is a meeting put on by the Department of Transportation on the 16th of
next o'clock.
Next week at 6 o'clock at the DOT building, which is at 750 North Solano. It's right near Hadley Boulevard, just north of Hadley.
Where there's a lot of construction, so you'll never be able to get there.
No, you can get in there. Use the south entrance. They
you have an alternative to this traffic problem.
Yeah.
You could move. Everybody's got that alternative.
Yeah, well,
Chris,
everybody could move.
You should move.
So should 5,000 people move because they're doing construction and only temporarily move?
We just saw the movie The Viceroy House.
Yes.
Millions of people had to move from India to Pakistan and back from Pakistan to India. And
during the partition, yes.
Yeah, 1948, and only 1 million people died.
Well, look at the refugees now that are moving out of
it's the same thing. That's
Syria.
why that movie is pretty dramatic and striking. But it's over by now because you have to get it on Redbox. DOT meeting. Okay, next thing. What do you got? Beatles. Are we on to events now?
We are. The Beatles tribute. There's a Beatles tribute.
Do we want to talk about Louis C.K.? He apologized yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see his apology.
He did apologize.
But I know he was scheduled to be on Stephen Colbert on Thursday.
He canceled.
And that was canceled out due to the allegations of his sexual harassment. Now, he's guilty before proven innocent. That's how these all go. Everybody seems to be guilty, proven guilty, before they've been found innocent. That's one of the
well, they don't
allegations.
They don't mention it unless they think that you have done something. Well, this is why a lot of people dragged into court here for abusing children. They usually get busted, but not all of them. The fact that he apologized.
Who did he apologize to?
He apologized to the press and to whoever he.
Well, he needs to apologize to the women who felt transgressed by his actions.
On the other hand, Roy Moore.
Oh, yes.
He is just saying that everybody's lying. He's just saying it's fake news.
Everybody's lying.
He doesn't admit it, basically because he's the guy who wanted the 10 Commandments on state property.
On state property.
Because he believes in the 10 Commandments. I think that pushing yourself onto a woman is not in the 10 Commandments, unless you're already married.
Well, she was a young girl. She was underage.
She was underage. And the excuse was that so was Mary Jesus' mother. But Joseph never.
They never had sex. That was a miraculous birth.
At different times, and in fact, this is why we need women's rights, because in the old days, women didn't have rights. And they actually had nowhere to go. They had to be aggressed by men, and then theoretically the men would protect them.
So these days, if any man out there ever had a sexual transgression in the last 30 years, you could be in trouble.
Position of power. You know, men are usually the people who have to make the first move. But I know that
that's the way women
from our conversation, many women have made the first move on us. But we could, we're not going to say anything.
Well, listen, Michael, I personally have experienced sexual harassment in the workplace.
By a guy, right?
No.
Is that when I
No,
went to
by
touch,
women.
When I grabbed you?
No, I was
Lasagna.
working on a film set up in Albuquerque
Yeah.
on a TV series, and I was wearing nothing but. I wasn't wearing much because I was supposed to be naked in the shot, and so the women off to the side, the women extras were starting to make.
Being made fun of is not.
Maybe
Is that sexual harassment? Making fun of
Oh, they
you?
weren't making fun. They
Right.
were. It was the opposite. They were saying things, and I actually turned to them. I said, "Oh, so this is sexual harassment in the workplace, isn't it, ladies?"
Did they call you Woody Woodpecker?
No, they didn't.
Oh.
And so I understand the women's pain.
My heart bleeds for you. It's funny how it works. I mean, because it's a balance of power that is being reset now, and we are in the resetting of it.
I think it's exciting and kind of interesting.
Yeah, except to people who get allegations against them.
Sure.
Let us. I know that's very amusing to talk about. Let's talk about the amusing things that are happening around town. Oh, we didn't mention Weinstein, who also
Well,
he used power to really abuse.
and so does Kevin
actresses.
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. Oh yeah,
He's in
that
big
is
trouble.
weird. And now he's admitted. Yes.
Big
So
trouble.
let's talk about amusements around town.
Yes.
Beatles tribute band.
On the 19th, over at the Rio Grande Theater, there's going to be a Beatles tribute band. I may actually go see that. I love the Beatles. And
What group? When were they around?
the Beatles were
Were they a
Paul
60s?
McCartney's backup group before Wings.
Was that a 60s band?
Yeah, 60s and 70s.
Oh, they worked for him before Beans?
Before Wings. Yes. And so they're going to be there at 6 o'clock on the 19th, the Beatles tribute band.
It looks
should
like
be a lot of
Jazz
fun.
Fest. Where's that at?
And then the Jazz Fest, NMSU Jazz Festival is going to be at the Atkinson Center.
What's that Frozen selection? You know, Frozen is going to be made.
This is the
during
Frozen selection
tonight.
right here.
Okay, but what else is happening is Megan McQueen, who does
But-
wonderful things.
Well, let me finish the
Finish
jazz.
the jazz thing.
The
Nobody
Jazz Festival, the 15th and the 16th at the Atkinson Center at the university. It's a Women in Jazz
Event.
Focus event, yes. And that's going on at the university at the Atkinson Center the 15th and 16th.
You could spell jazz wrong, and it would immediately be a sexual
Oh, you mean
harassment.
jizz?
Yes,
Jizz is
but nobody understands that. Anyway, that's good. Megan McQueen is doing her thing, which is going through the times that are changing. Protest songs at
Boba.
Boba tonight and next week, and there's shows at 6:30 and 8:30.
She's the artistic director
And
over there.
she always gives a great scholastic discussion about these songs, as well as well performed. And you
So it's
get
going to be
see
her
nuances.
and several other
other
female
people.
singers or male
Yes.
singers too.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it
We
yet.
don't know. Go there and see and let us know if we don't go.
And what else? Oh, there's something else. We never do art galleries. The grand opening of the 4 Points Perspective, which is down on Route 28, is tonight at 6 o'clock. And Arts Obscura is having an opening on Harrelson at 7. And we are out.
We're out of time. Thanks, folks.
Thank you for staying for
Down the
those
hatch.
last announcements.
It's a pretty good drink.
Anybody with Aperol?
Those three ingredients. You don't have any of those ingredients at all.
Or,